Hello. The purpose of this video is to provide a brief overview of the new English Composition 2 course and explain how it differs from the current LAT1, QBT1 research writing courses. I will discuss the learning resources, the performance assessments, including topic selection and task details, and provide information on the support offered by the composition team. This slide details the differences between Composition 2 and LAT-QBT. As you'll see, Composition 2 is worth 3 competency units, just as QBT1 is. A major difference is in the number of required tasks. Composition 2 requires 2, as opposed to the 5 tasks required in LAT-QBT. Another difference is the requirement of an objective pre-assessment. This pre-assessment will help the course mentors find out, and the student find out, exactly what he or she knows about academic writing and research. And we can use the results of that pre-assessment to better facilitate student learning. There is no pre-assessment for LAT-QBT. The courses all require research. They all deal with argumentative writing, and students are required to adhere to APA formatting and style guidelines. The learning resource for Composition 2 is MindEdge, just as it is for LAT and QBT. Students will continue to be automatically enrolled and enjoy the ease of single sign-on. The learning resource has awesome videos, it has vocabulary flashcards, multiple opportunities for practice writing, it has examples of professional writing, games, and all types of things that make this an enjoyable and interactive learning resource. A few other things I want to point out is that we have some very helpful appendices here at the end of the learning resource. Appendix A is the writing handbook, and this is sort of a reference book on a reference guide to all things related to academic writing, and it gives a lot of information on just the basic conventions, spelling, grammar, any skills that a student might need to refresh in order to be successful in this course. In addition to Appendix A, we have Appendix B, which is a guide to APA formatting. So it's nice to remind students about that. And we also have an Appendix C, which gives some information on strategies for revision. And we also have student sample papers that are actually annotated, so the students can click on a colored section and a new window will open up with explanatory commentary, so students can learn more about how a final research paper is actually put together. All right, so of course the students will find the task requirements and their rubrics in TaskStream, and so this might be a good time to talk about the two task requirements for Composition 2. Task 1 requires a thesis statement, an arguable thesis statement, and an annotated bibliography. Okay, the annotated bibliography requires that 12 sources are annotated. So that is one difference between Composition 2 and LAT-QBT, which required only 10 sources to be annotated. Okay. Task 2 is actually the final polished research paper. This paper has a suggested length of 15 to 20 pages which does include the references. And so this is also a slight difference because in LAT QBT, the suggested length is 10 to 15 pages. So as just a recap of the learning resources, you'll see they're nearly identical. They are identical. In both courses, students select their own topic. It has to be researchable and it must lead to an argumentative thesis. The topic may be based on the student's interests, career, and knowledge. Here's an overview of the differences in the tasks that I mentioned earlier. You'll see here that in Composition 2, the annotated bibliography requires 12 annotations as opposed to 10. The second and final task is the final paper. The outline, the revised draft, and revision summary, and the synthesis and paraphrase. The competencies are developed, are supported by the learning resource, but they are not evaluated in discrete tasks in Composition 2. They are evaluated in the final research paper. Okay? The composition team is hard at work creating additional learning support. Composition students can expect a robust community, multiple webinar offerings, cohort opportunities, getting started and task-specific videos, and of course, individualized support from the course mentors. We would love to hear your feedback or answer your questions. Feel free to call us at extension 1754 or send us an email at lat@wgu.edu or qbt1@wgu.edu. Thanks so much for your time, and I appreciate it. I appreciate you coming.